deceived by Thiefnubu, the temple of truth. Please hear the broadcast.
Politico. Godfatherism.
Thank you so much for joining me, and apologies that I didn't show up last night. So I was exhausted. So I needed that break. But somehow I am back and refreshed. So read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, hear it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today. Since the purported draft for a change of system in Nigeria from the current unitary pseudo-democracy to a regional system of government, it has sparked a never seen before reaction of rage from AREWA Nigeria. AREWA Nigeria are now claiming that others destroyed northern Nigeria so that they can now break up Nigeria. If Nigeria should go the regional system way, the northern Nigeria will suffer. Therefore, they will never let that happen. That has been the position always so. But this time around, more people are now interested. Why is northern Nigeria going to suffer if Nigeria should go to regional system or break up? Right now, they are now feeling cheated by Thiefnubu, deceived by Thiefnubu. Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you. Happy Sunday. Okay. It is Maiyegun live. And right now, for those who knows the rules of the Sunday sermon, we call it no holds bar session. It is so different from the usual and regular. And we usually advise everyone who is joining this type of broadcast for the first time, MaiyegunsDiary Politico on the Sunday sermon, to know the following. This is where we call it exactly what it is. And we do not see criminals differently. Whether they are old, young, educated, not educated, it doesn't really matter where they come from. Now, if you are the type who love your oppressors differently, don't worry, it's all right. We identify different group of people on this platform, and we deal with everyone according to what they believe, except for those who live in denial. There are those who have joined MaiyegunsDiary Politico because the topic of conversation was on the people they don't like. Oh, this guy is great. I never liked these people too. Oh, I'm glad that this guy doesn't like them too. But if you by any means think that is how it works here, no, it's not. It simply means that if the table turns, which it does almost every now and then, I am talking about those of you who love your oppressors differently. Some of you believe that your own oppressors, they are better than the other people's oppressors. Or your own oppressor, though they are corrupt and criminally minded, but they have fear of God. Others don't. And all of these kind of preferences you have. Oh, this criminal they are talking about is from my tribe. Oh, that's an insult on my tribe. I know you hate my tribe. That is why you are attacking us. Don't watch MaiyegundsDiary Politico on Sunday for your own mental health. You get that? And if you are the type that easily, there are people of easy handling, kind of. Those of you who have submitted to the religious manipulations, there is religion. There is religious manipulation. What you have in Nigeria is more than just religion and even more than religious manipulation, indoctrination and all of that. So if you are the type who carry God and a defender of God, you are advised not to really watch MaiyegundsDiary Politico on Sunday, because it could be the turn of your pastor, your imam, okay? So the point I am trying to make here is this. This is not a time or a place to be politically correct. You do not demand respect for criminals, whether they are old, young, or they come from your tribe or your religion. What we do here, because listen to this, everyone, I believe, knows the problem of Nigeria. You know it, I know it. Most of the time, these people always jump around and ask, hey, what is the solution? What is the way forward? But the problem here is this. Majority of those who claim to know the problems of Nigeria, they are partly involved in that problem because they want you to talk about the problems, but don't talk about those who are creating the problems. Because by talking about those who are creating the problem, who are creating the division, the insecurity, and all of these that are bedeviling Nigeria, you are likely going to be mentioning people they know, people they respect, people they prefer their own kind of criminality to others. The ones they will tell you, is he the only one? Leave him alone. Go and talk about that one. And that is where we get to separate boys from men. Those who are easily manipulated or have already been manipulated, that can no longer be saved. We know them. They watch this platform too. But to those of you who have managed to have mentally bypass all of these kind of manipulations, distractions, then you have no problem of watching Maiyegun on Sundays, do you? Having said that, here we are. Some want you to say Nigeria is going to be better. And they will go as far as asking you to provide solutions. But guess what? Every Nigerian has a solution to Nigeria problem in their own way. But the problem is this. Majority of them have never had the chance of actually being in position of implementing what they think is their own solution. Why? You do not give solutions to people who are deliberately and intentionally destroying a country. You get rid of them. Let us give them solution. At least it's not everything you'll be criticizing and criticizing. Let's give them solution. What kind of solution would you give to people who are intentionally looting the country, who are intentionally lawless, who are intentionally above the laws themselves? What kind of solution would you give to them? Advice? You don't. You come together and get rid of them. And that is a problem on its own. Getting rid of them means different thing. If a Yoruba man is in charge, are we going to now support other people to remove? If they remove a Yoruba man now, who is going to be there next? Coming together to actually get something that works for you is almost impossible because they have succeeded. in indoctrinating us from birth, right? Never to see ourselves as one. But we put up appearances. Oh, a great country, happiest people, and all of that nonsense they put out until Bokwari came, and Bokwari put the wedge. All of the vote lines are being cocked, all the red lines that should never be crossed. Bokwari crossed them. It practically shown all of us where we belong in that contraption. It brought an end to the lie of our problem is leadership. Once we get leadership right now, Bokwari settled that. The deceit ended with him. But some want to leave it on. Yeah? You can't. Whatever is happening in Nigeria today is not by accident. Okay? When they deliberately borrowing money, sharing it among themselves, taxing you, sharing the money among themselves, putting up a bogus, non-impactful real project on your lives, policies that continue to make life hell, but they were basking in the euphoria of, yes, what can you do? Then somebody says, let us give them solution. Give solution to who? Like they don't know what they are doing. No, you don't know what you are doing. So this past week, there is a draft of a proposed regional system of government in Nigeria. And this regional system of government is practically what Nigeria was before it was brought to an end in 1966. Now, back then, it was like everybody was on their own. There was an arrangement though, right, where the proceeds of their resources could be a little bit that kind of shared at the center. There was no reason to hate ourselves. In fact, we barely see ourselves. Especially northern Nigeria was totally isolated from the rest of southern Nigeria. Like even since they said they did the amalgamation in 1914, they never allowed the north to meet the south. So the British made that happen for decades. And that was to be maintained. So the moment we finally met ourselves, we never agreed on anything. Ever. So that should be a sign that we shouldn't be the same country. Okay? We shouldn't. Or fast forward to 64 years after, northern Nigeria ruled Nigeria for 47 years out of that 64 years. And they intentionally impoverished their people and led them as much as they could, right? They led them to the path of subordinates. But at the same time, again, they were telling them that they were born to rule. Poverty was the order of the day. Education was like haram, intentionally. And for those of you who know the history very well, the Fulani oligarch that terrorized the northern Nigeria and took over the Hausa land, they decided that only their own children would be educated. And that was what the British maintained. And scholarships were given to the children of the poor that will be educated to serve them. When the rest of Nigeria were practicing representative democracy, kind of, in that colonial time, when they were choosing people to represent them, when people were vying for positions, in northern Nigeria, the Fulani Emirate, Sultanate, they were sending their own children to represent the north. Meanwhile, it's practically like they were representing them. That was the practice. And it was always like rankadede. Kind of. That's not the southern part, right? Then they fused us together. They now told them The case of Nigeria is a case of the rich wife and a very poor, barbaric husband. That was how the British described Nigeria, northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria. The people therein were never asked if they want to live together, if they want to be a country. We were never asked. We were told that, okay, they've chosen our independence, so then all of you should come together and work together and make it work. So the poor, aggressive, uneducated, backward, uncivilized husband is northern AREWA that continue to cling on to the middle belt, the one they couldn't defeat when Uthman Danfodio was alive, the first official terrorist of today's Nigeria. Don't get mad. That is your history. When you're writing the history of Nigeria, the first official terrorist to betray the trust of his own host, who were very good to him, he was given everything. He was allowed to teach Islamic studies in Hausa land, only for him to turn the children against their parents. And the rest is history. They slaughtered them. They killed them. They didn't convert them. They killed hundreds of thousands in order to dominate and be where they are now. Still, they couldn't really dominate other than the use of force. That is the history. They were stopped in the middle belt of Nigeria. That is the history of Nigeria. So then the British handed that over to them and said, okay, we are handing this new Nigeria, new country, to this barbaric, uncivilized bunch of Islamic jihadists. That is Nigeria history. That is why Nigeria never worked. Then somehow they were told that the places they couldn't conquer with their sword and arrows has been bequeathed to them, and that would be Nigeria. But despite all of that, 64 years after, they could not improve the lives of the millions of their descendants because they were told whether they should just exist, Nigeria will feed them. As long as Nigeria continue to share money, as long as Nigeria exists, according to their design, then they will survive. No investment is made on education, not on infrastructure, like provision of water, healthcare. Okay? I'm talking about irrigated farmlands, knowing your area, having access to the resources of Nigeria for 47 years. And in 2024, your descendants, your children are hungry when they hear the word regional system of government. And somehow, they are now victims of Nigeria. No be juju be that. I have seen reactions online. I have even seen reactions from Lagos. This is why they didn't allow history in your schools. But you can actually catch up on history of Nigeria. And the moment you know the history of this contraption, all of the lies will begin to fall like pack of cards. Nigeria will be great. Nigeria will be great. I'm a proud Nigerian, proud Nigerian. All this nonsense will disappear from your medulla oblongata. I promise you. There was nothing called Lagos State in Yoruba land. Okay? But there was a Lagos colony which never went beyond that Lagos Island. And up to the, what do you call it? The entire mainland, they were the lands of the Jebus, the Aworis, the Egbas, and many more. And when they talk about Lagos that was not part of southwest Nigeria, they are not talking about this Lagos. This is not the Lagos. this Lagos you have now is the creation of Gowon, the Fulani led, the Fulani backed jihad of 1966. So they had to cut out the land and then created a place called Lagos State. So if Lagos, if all of you, the descendants of the Lagos, next to that water, chooses to remain there and kind of have your own part cut out, you know where you have to cut out. And that is where the referendum comes in. Okay? That is where you will know that the people have the chance of deciding. History is great. You can be a student of history and not a prisoner of it. You see all these politically motivated, divisive rhetorics. We know they are not new. But guess what? They are all signs that Nigeria is coming to an end. So Nigeria will have to experience two things, and very soon. The first one is going to be, indeed, the real push for regional system of government, which gives regional autonomy to everyone, and they cut off all of the parasites whose forefathers were so lazy, so selfish, that all of the money they made from Nigeria, they kept them for themselves, so that their own generations yet unborn would never have to actually suffer. But millions of northerners who they claimed to be leading will be born into poverty, one after the other, one generation after the other. So you should know that your descendants, your own forefathers, that we now call the parasites, they are indeed parasites. They have succeeded in dragging the rest of Nigeria down the rabbit hole, the one they have dug, or they have kept majority of you for years using religion and other barbaric, uncivilized teachings that make you feel like you deserve to live as slaves in your own country, if you have any country at all. So the news of regional system hits them so hard, and they have reacted pretty much the same. And some of them are now saying that Thiefnubu deceived them, that Thiefnubu has a plan. In fact, they are already putting together a delegate from northern Nigeria to go and see Thiefnubu so that he can reassure them that there is no plan to push for regionalism. Here is something you should know that is triggering all of this. They are not false alarms. They are real alarms. And they are good. This is good that it is happening now. Okay? So, pay attention. At first, whatever the calculation was that made them believe that Thiefnubu said his priority was to return Nigeria back to anthem. Sorry about that break, I think it's the network acting up. Let me take a look. Just a quick one to be sure that everything is fine. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we're all good. Right. Thiefnubu that did not consult with anyone at all, as it is the case whenever you are trying to amend a constitution. Now, you can raise a bill, okay, about anything in Nigeria Senate. But that bill you are about to raise, it must be investigated that there is no law that is existing before that your bill. Now, if there is any law that is existing before that your bill, what you will now propose is going to be a bill to amend that law, that section of the law, okay? So if you succeed, right, your new proposal will now be copied and pasted, replaced with the one you are changing. So that will now be the one they will be quoting, okay? Now, Nigerians were never consulted when they were writing this Decree 24, 1999 Constitution. No consultation, no referendum conducted, no public hearing, nothing. So it was the creation of the military and few guys. Now, Thiefnubu, who is supposed to be a democratic government, right? He wanted to change the national anthem. But the process of changing the national anthem of Nigeria means you have to change the constitution. You have to amend the constitution. Okay? So then what you do is that you raise a bill like they did at the National Assembly. Once the Rep and the Senate, once they pass it like they did, then they will forward it to all of the states in Nigeria. So the state assemblies. Now, the state assemblies would also have to vote on it. They will pass it. Once the 2/3 of them pass it, right? That is 24 states, right? They will now send it back to the National Assembly. That moment, somebody will now move a motion to amend that section of the Constitution, the national anthem. So once they now pass that, but before it gets to, as it gets to all of the states, by the way, they must have put up what is called the public hearing, which means all of you will go there and go and say your mind, or you go and hear their reason for why they want to return you back to the old anthem and all of that stuff. Okay. So once you satisfy and all of that, you will now reach out to your representatives to support it or to be against it. Now, if they now vote National Assembly, they now pass it. Okay, that means the National Assembly have done their own public hearing. So that's when they will now send it to the states. When the states now get to the states, all of you who are in different states in Nigeria, then the state assembly will now announce that you should come more. There's an amendment conversation that is going to take place about the national anthem. So everybody in their different states, they will go to the state assembly, okay, to go and listen and hear their own view. If they support it or against it, they will tell their representatives and their assembly members to vote for it or against it. Now, if 24 states out of 36 states in Nigeria say yes, change the national anthem, that has passed. So they will now send it back to the National Assembly. National Assembly will now vote and move a motion to pass it and change it. And then they will now send it to the president. The president will then consult again and say, does this come back as we wanted it? Yeah, he did. He will now sign it. So a president can raise a bill, since Thiefnubu said that was his own priority. He wanted it. Abi? So he will raise an executive bill, send it to the National Assembly. Okay? So they didn't do all of this. Okoyemi Bamidele he was the one who brought it into the National Assembly. The moment they voted on it, and some of them said no, the Highs still had it. So once the Highs have it, right, they send it to Thiefnubu to sign it, and they said everybody should start singing it. That is not how to pass law. Now, some of them from northern Nigeria, these northern influencers on social media, they actually supported it. Not all of them. Yes. The old anthem is going to bring unity. It's going to shake Kiniko. They ignored the illegality behind it. Now they are scared, hearing that an act has been developed for regional system of government, and it went viral on social media. And somehow, it is already being discussed within the old rock. It's already been discussed at the National Assembly. And some of them are beginning to feel like it is real. And because of this, it has now thrown the northern AREWA parasites into a total restlessness, kind of panic mode. Even though it hasn't been officially confirmed, right? But they are worried. This Thiefnubu will get anything he wants, And because they knew what happened last year, they believe that their House of Representatives, senators from northern Nigeria, with the right money, they will support it too. They may go back to their region and begin to tell them that they had no choice, they had no option, this, and that. They are now panicking that Thiefnubu could smuggle regional system back into Nigeria Senate and get it passed with Akpabiole and Abbas, the stooge of Thiefnubu. The people that were supposed to be born to rule, they are scared. I pick up few screenshots earlier. Take a look at this Almajiri. To think that some people from a region where bandits can take over entire villages, control forests, and where people pay taxes to bandits to access their farms or be allowed to live peacefully in their villages, are advocating for a regional system of government makes me sick. That's one of them. He couldn't believe it that some people in northern Nigeria are actually in support of the idea. Not that this support is more, I mean, it's well pronounced though, but it be like say the idea is spreading. And with this Thiefnubu that they now say they don't trust, he has betrayed them. They tend to kind of have been in a panic mode right now, that their people could even entertain that thought. One of them said, these people destroyed northern Nigeria. They destroy our farms. They know that northern Nigeria depends on agriculture. And the agriculture is now gone. Yeah? They are now talking about regional system. We must not agree. One of them said that Nigeria was developed with agricultural money from northern Nigeria. So now that some people now have oil, they want to break up Nigeria and destroy all of their own farms. I told you, these were the people who have this superior mentality, kind of, we are more superior than you. Nothing where you do, we are going to always rule over you. Kind of that mentality from a poor Alibajiri from somewhere in Sokoto. I'm talking about the people who usually brag of how the Igbo people are going to suffer if Nigeria should break up. And suddenly, they are now victims. The people that said Buhari must go is a threat against northern Nigeria. When thousands of people were being killed, kidnapped, and the entire economy of the northern Nigeria was being destroyed by Boko Haram, by Fulani terrorists, by ISWAP. The people that said criticizing Buhari is like an attack on northern Nigeria. The people that told you that the ban on open grazing is an attack on northern Nigeria. The same people who watched the Fulani terrorists destroy farms, who watched Boko Haram killed and destroyed farms, killed farmers and destroyed farms. The people that watches their people pay taxes to terrorists under Buhari, and they said a dead Buhari is better than anybody from southern Nigeria leading Nigeria. They watched Buhari pardon terrorists. They said nothing. Now they are victims. Who destroyed northern Nigeria? Hello? Who destroyed northern Nigeria? The rest of you who are not armed Boko Haram terrorists, but Islamic jihadists, killing people for saying something against your religion and justifying same, defending pedophiles, defending child rapists in the name of your religion. Same thing that the Boko Haram are doing, cutting heads off. You were there, you watched all of this happen. Now you are victims because they are talking about regional system of government. Take a look at this one. No this, no peace. The North made Thiefnubu president despite his past record. Why are you now acting like you are not aware of his agendas? Is this not what you have voted for? You don't want regional government, but you voted for a regional champion. So this is the sign of saying they were deceived by Thiefnubu. So Ugochukwu said, Northern group are not happy that Southerners see them as parasites. Restructure Nigeria, they say no. Change constitution, they say no. Amend constitution, they say no. Regional government, they say no. State police, they say no. Referendum, they say no. Here is another one. This one said, it is a capital no for regional governments. Why AREWA is in this situation? Because it was when AREWA was doing better than any other regions, the regional government was abolished. And now that AREWA is facing challenges, they want us to return to that system. Ain't no way. Another one responded, Nigeria is going back to regional system. Middle Belt territories will either go as one region or any other arrangement that we, the people, deem fit for us. Going back to 4 regional system is a no-no. And the Middle Belt will never join AREWA to form a region bloc. Voila, did they say? Another one. I never believed that that a day like this will come. I thought it was Igbos and Southeast. Regionalism, Nigeria dividing, one of them will happen one day, and Undigbo will benefit a lot. That was coming from a Fulani saying the Igbos are now going to be the ones to benefit if Nigeria break. The people who said the Igbos are going to suffer, they are changing their mouth now that they are the ones who will suffer. And because they will suffer, they would rather just not let that happen. Here is another one. When the so-called restructuring or resource control happens, it will affect Lagos too, as Lagos prosperity mostly relies on the port. With restructuring, Southeast and South-South states will use South-South ports. Northern states can opt to either Benin Republic or Togo ports, which are deeper, which are cheaper. Wahala. So here is another one. Southeast will be the greatest beneficiary of restructuring if it ever happens. These are Northern guys having a conversation about what is now the reality. Okay? Now, the Igbos are no longer landlocked. The Igbos that they told you for years that they are landlocked, even when the reality, even when the map says otherwise, the Fulanis redrew the map of Nigeria to put the Igbos in the middle, cut the Igbos and make them minority in many of your states, in southern and even the middle belt part of Nigeria, as far as Benue State, Kogi. Now, they did all of this with the intention of ruling Nigeria in perpetuity. And the Igbos, they will never have the chance of saying they want to break up of Nigeria. Now, the Igbos are not the ones who are now pushing it at the national level right now to break up the Nigeria. It is we, the Yorubas. That draft that you are reading is developed by Akin Fakpounda. Akinpa Fakpounda that wrote that is a Yoruba man. Now, the AREWA North that told you that the Igbos were landlocked, now they are the ones who are now landlocked. They are the ones who are now going to be like Niger, like Chad, like Mali. They would have to now start making deals with countries who have seaports. The people who have to see, you see how lies can travel for decades. But you see, reality is going to set in for all of us. You see, the older generation that lied to all of us, they are already dying away. I am telling you, the only thing they are leaving behind for you is bigotry. But guess what? Reality is going to set in. And you are going to know later that this Nigeria is a lie. It's what? It is a lie. But they would say it themselves. You will stop lying to yourself at some point. And don't ever bring Yorubas into it. If you want to go to Benin Republic, to go and use the Benin port, that's your business. At least, Niger Republic is using Nigeria and Benin Republic seaports. So if AREWA want to use, and as for the people of the Middle Belt, they are the descendants of the Nigeria Civil War, Nigeria Genocidal War, from that part of Nigeria too. They don't want to have anything to do with AREWA North. And guess what? When this whole conversation goes down, you see the Hausas, they allow themselves to be referred to as Hausa Fulani. They will come boldly and tell you the Hausas, they are not Fulani. If you want to be Fulani, be Fulani. If you want to be Hausa, be Hausa. There is nothing called Northern Nigeria. There is nothing called Southern Nigeria. We are talking about, cluster of ethnic groups, tribes, who have names. Yeah? When you go to the Middle Belt, you will see the Jokuns, you will see the Tifis, you will see the Beroms, you will see the Agatus, you will see the, they have names. When you go to Northern Nigeria, you will see the Hausas, you will see the Kanuris, you will see the Fulanis, who only make just about 9% of the population of that AREWA North itself. Do you know that? Everybody go bear their papa name. Don't be afraid. So the story they told you of Nigeria, of Northern Nigeria feeding Southern Nigeria before they discover crude oil is another blatant lie. A blatant lie that even right now, those who know the truth or those who have lived long enough they should not be spreading that lie. Northern Nigeria was a parasite, has always been a parasite. It has always, been so incompetently managed. Historically, Northern Nigeria is the reason why the rest of Nigeria is called the poverty capital of the world. The colonial masters then, the British, they were running at loss, running the operation of Northern Nigeria. Yes, they were. To the point that the colonial office was requesting for money so that they could be able to manage Northern Nigeria, to balance up their budget yearly. And one of the motivated reasons why Northern Nigeria was merged with Southern Nigeria. And at a point, at least it's on record now, 1914, just same year, before that too, on January 1, 1901, when Lugard took over the northern part of Nigeria as the administrator, and they moved to merge the whole country together 14 years later, be gone. There were letters where it was written for a request from Southern Nigeria Colonial Office to loan them over £1 million. This is on record. There was nowhere on record, anywhere in history, never anywhere in the archive where they said Northern Nigeria gave this amount of money for anything in Southern Nigeria, ever. Not a single one. And neither Southern Nigeria nor Northern Nigeria spent a dime in developing oil exploration in Nigeria. And that is why Nigeria never really owns our own oil. It's always owned by Britain and other partners who brought in their equipment to develop all of those oil platforms you see in Nigeria. Nigeria didn't spend a dime. It is part of the nonsense that they feed their people that gave them the sense of entitlement that is never factual. British Shell and the rest of them, they developed the oil industry in Nigeria. They developed all of the oil platforms. And that is why what Nigeria collects from oil is called royalty. So where was Northern Nigeria going to get the money from? To develop the oil industry in Nigeria. Then, where? From which what? Oh, we had Granite Pyramid. Your Granite Pyramid actually predated independence. And there were those that were completely taken out of Nigeria. And since 1960, your successive leaders, your emirs, your sultans, the military head and the rest of them, they've ensured that no single investment is actually really truly done on agriculture in northern Nigeria. At least if they did, you should not be worrying in taking care of yourselves. So you see, the region that they said will be landlocked, the region that they told you will suffer because of the artificial states that they created, is the region now they feel like it's going to enjoy more. The reality, Baba, facts is stubborn gone. Do you know that? Facts, very, very stubborn. Nigeria is going to break up. Wumi Dada, look at me very well. Nigeria will break up. Everybody will still have to find their bearing. Okay? And I am not saying that if Thiefnubu is going to make that happen, but if he's going to be the one to trigger it, the way he's already triggering you right now, well, so be it. But I know it's pretty much like, it's in the water for something bigger that is about to be introduced. Here is another one where some of them felt like, we said, as a northerner, I will never support regional governments. For the past 64 years of independence, what does not gain in terms of political, economic, and educational development? In every aspect, the North were left behind. Our North region is the most retrogressive region in the country. So let's build North before any regional government. So build North with what and with whose resources? With whose money? You better begin to try and cough whatever you can actually cough out of Nigeria as we speak. Because, yes, several times people have had this conversation, and several times a lot of you believe that it's not going to happen. But with a lawless criminal like Thiefnubu, then you should not sleep and close your eyes. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, Thiefnubu is being considered as a persona non grata in northern Nigeria, and he is being declared as the anti-North and somebody that is likely going to divide Nigeria, but not the way you want it to be divided, but the way Thiefnubu wanted it to be divided. And that is creating a confusion that for the first time, the supposed born to rule northern Nigeria, they are worried. Aboki, my friend, don't worry. Okay? If you are smart enough, these are just to tell you that Nigeria has been a lie for so long, and you are the manifestation of that lie. You are the proof of that lie. But you can actually stop lying to yourselves now. And let us all start having that conversation. The conversation about this contraption. Because somehow, a generation is actually arising. And that generation is not going to really settle for what we have been forced to settle with or settle for. They will ask questions and they will act too. since they know that we all have short time. We have short time, and with this act of a total contraption of disjointed people who just can't wait to kill ourselves, they are going to act. And you know one thing, the history they fail to teach in schools, a lot of this generation, a lot of us in this generation, we have learned them outside those schools. And we now know why Nigeria is not working. We now know why it will never work. So, AREWA, North, you better brace up. You better brace up. Thiefnubu has captured Nigeria. And a lot of you deludedly, in your delusion, you really think you gave him that power. You did not. He bought it from those who could stop him. Those who should know. They are not better, but they should probably just know this. And for whatever personal gain that they did it for, you see that your old North is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. There is nothing called the old North anymore. There is nothing called the one North anymore. You might continue to live that lie, okay? Just same as those who are living the lie of one Nigeria. Let's be honest. There is no one Nigeria. You might want to have one Nigeria, okay? But the actions and the inactions of those who are in charge of that contraption, right, will never give you that one Nigeria. What you have always had is many Nigerias. And if you begin to identify yourself for who you are, this identity crisis may actually come to an end sooner than we all can go back to our lives. And as for those of you who are somehow trying to plant the seed of doubt in the minds of the Yorubas, let me take you down memory lane. History in particular, okay? When we have the southwest Nigeria, I'm talking about the western region, it had its reach to as far as almost half of today's Delta states. At a point, it had the entire Edo before the creation of the Midwestern region, okay? So I'm talking about a place where could be kind of classed as a whole country on its own. And it is the conglomeration of all tribes, ethnic nationalities, who share so much in common. Okay? So the policies of Obafemi Awolowo at the time, that was considered, you know why they said Yoruba, why they call the Western region Yoruba region? It is not because everyone that occupies that space, everyone or every group is Yoruba. No. Yeah, they have so much in common, right? But by the design of the space of, then it was a region of, many, many nationalities too, or tribes. Give me a sec. So do you get that? But prior to all of that, right, there was, there was what you call the Lagos colony. The Portuguese that named Lagos Eko, they named it Lagos. And this was way back in the 15th century or so, or 16th century. The first scholars, they were traders. Okay, so they were referring to the place in their own articles and all that as Lagos, Laos, Portuguese. So they were dealing there with the people living just at the river banks. Okay, but at the other side of the river, there were other, there were other tribes, ethnic nationalities like the Ijebus, the Aworis, who are also sharing the same water bank, the Ekpes. Yeah, the Ekpe Alaro Ogunmode days. Okay, they are not Lagosians until they created Lagos. They are on their own a kingdom, Ekpe kingdom. They were close to the water. We had the Aworis, we had the Ilajes. We had so many people who were living next to the water who were not Lagos. Then on the dry land, the mainland, right, where the place where you actually have real settlement too, up to as far as Ikorodu, Ikorodu to he talking to Ogijo to Shagamu. Shagamu is Remo Ijebu. All these areas are Ijebus. And if you now go to the other side, talking of going through the Egbado, and you begin to come to Ilaro, and then you start coming down to Ota, that is also very next to Lagos and all of those places, right? They are not Lagos, but they existed until they drew the artificial map of creating their states without consultations. The creation of states is, according to them, is to stop any future plan of breaking up of Nigeria by any major ethnic group anymore. And they succeeded. So they started making those of you from Isaleko to start thinking everybody from Ikeja, everyone from Orile, everyone from Ikorodu, and all of you who are part of that same Lagos, you are Lagos and you are not part of Yoruba land. History. Where did you read yours from? You want to use the artificial map. The artificial map designed by the Fulanis and their friends to also continue to fight the demarcated borders in Yoruba land. No, it's not going to succeed. You know why? Apart from those of you who are the political ass slickers benefiting crumbs from this contraption called Nigeria, even the people from Isaleko, they will tell you they are Yorubas and they will be part of Yoruba land. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I saw that, Lagos is not going to be part of any Yoruba land. You know the reason why the conversation around the involvement of the Lagos as part of Yoruba land is kept the way it is right now is because politically, okay, back then, when the Egbas got their independence from the British, just at the late 19th century, okay, December 1891, 1892, when they got their independence and they are like independent country inside the colony, right? The British colony administrators, right, who were controlling the what do you call it, the Ikoyi, Isaleko, that area like that, right? Controlling that place. They were doing everything to make, because they felt like the Egbas, who was as close as to Ikeja, today's Ikeja, their influence was as far as today's Ikeja in today's Lagos, right? They said they were keeping, just like they did for the northern Nigeria, they were keeping the people of Isaleko, Eko, they were keeping them away from the rest of Yoruba land, because the rest of Yoruba land, they were becoming radical. They were demanding for more autonomy, and they did not want them to corrupt the Lagosians who were like under the British colonial rule. Do you get that now? And they were okay, you know, they have access to all of the imported British stuff. They have access to all of the British education and like that, sure you get. But all of these things, the Egbas have already acquired them years before they created the Lagos colony, before British created Lagos colony. So the idea is to segregate Lagos away from the rest of Yoruba. Thiefnubu came, and their own idea remains, all the space they call Lagos State today, we have to cut them off from the rest of Yoruba land, so that you don't have that idea of sharing or participating in the prosperity of this Lagos, because this Lagos is so prosperous. But like the British, the wealth of the land was shared among the British and their representatives, who are also Lagosians. But the real people, boom. So same thing is what Thiefnubu is doing. The Lagos wealth, okay, is Thiefnubu's wealth. It is not Yoruba land's wealth. And now they are pushing that idea. Lagos will never join your Yoruba nation. Lagos, if regionalism comes, Lagos is going to remain a colony. Fine. But let the people of that space tell us that. Let the Ijebus in Epe, let the Ijebus in Ikorodu, let them say they are not Yorubas. Okay? And they want to be part of a Lagos colony. Under who? Maybe under Thiefnubu. That is what is called referendum. Okay? So same thing goes to all of you. Some said if they now create the Lagos colony, maybe Thiefnubu that is now building you Coastal Road. So the people of Lagos colony, Lagos coastal colony, they will just have to kind of have a one-way road straight to the people of the creek in the Ijo, Yoruba, Ishekiri land over there at the coastal. And some of them said, no, they would need visa. No coastal road will bring you to the the Niger Delta, they called it. So the bottom line is this. A lot of people are realizing the fraud. They are realizing the lies called Nigeria. And some of them are shocked to discover some of this truth. Like, I didn't know that. Now you do. Listen to me. The the AREWA criminal leaders, they intentionally underdeveloped AREWA land. And because they could live off the rest of Nigeria, to continue to enjoy the luxury, the private jet, the private this and all of that they have, they don't believe in creating wealth. And that is why you will see majority of the northern billionaires, they became billionaires from stealing money from Nigeria. All of them, pata pata. If you bring me Ogun, bring Ogun now, I will swear. Begin to probe everybody who is a billionaire in northern Nigeria and tell me what they created. You will realize that they became billionaires because at a point in time, the money of Nigeria that they allocated to northern Nigeria ended in private pocket of all these criminals. Today, they are the in market. They are in all of that bullshit. If you created your wealth, you should never be worried. Remember, the richest man in Africa, Dangote, is from Kano. And Kano is going to be part of AREWA region. Right? So if Dangote could become a billionaire, then the northern Nigeria can survive. So you are not going to be a victim at all. Those who are going to tell you not to support regional system, they are those who are already looking forward to be like their own criminal leaders. They are looking forward to be governors. They are looking forward to become senators. Looking forward to hold any political office. So they too will have access to public fund and become sudden overnight billionaires from northern Nigeria. They will never want to do any of this on their own. And that is the reality. And that is why some of them says, if Nigeria wants to break up, wait for me to loot my own money first. These are the people who are telling you and preaching that the breakup of Nigeria or regionalism is going to make one poor or make others rich. That is not how it works. It will first actually make all of us manage our own affairs and then be responsible for our success or failures. Sudan. You know about Sudan. Now, for years, Sudan, which is a very big, one of the biggest countries in Africa, Sudan was fused together. The southern Sudan, majorly Christians, okay, colonized partly by, English or the British. Then the northern Sudan colonized by the Islamic, sort of a teachings kind of, and French. So they choose to be Islamist in the north, and they choose to be, Christian and others in the south. The resources of Sudan is domiciled in the south, as well as the north as well. Now, it's pretty much like Sudan is like Nigeria, okay? Now, you see, the northern Sudan is mostly desert, preferably, but they also have their own resources like mines, where they actually mine gold and other resources like that. For southern Sudan, vegetarian area with crude oil and abundance resources. So they wanted their independence. They were supposed to be a great country in control of their own resources. I am using Sudan not because it's a good example. It is just to tell you that breaking up away from Nigeria is not a fait accompli. It's not like, like your fate is sealed. Your fate is just in your hands. Now, the Igbos will not be able to say the Fulanis are holding us. The Hausa Fulanis, they will not be able to say the Yorubas are holding us. As well as others too. Nobody will be able to blame anyone but themselves. That is what it means to be regionally autonomous. Regional autonomy. But the criminals who are benefiting from this rot, they would make you believe otherwise. Ask them what they have done with all the money they've gotten in the last 64 years. What gives you the assurance that the next 64 years is going to be better than the last 64 years? Why would you want to subject yourselves and even your own children, your children's children, to that? Why? So that's why this conversation has to happen. It must happen. And Nigeria will break because there lies our survivor, the survivor of our species, or else we're all going to have to be killed or die. So if anybody is afraid of the regional autonomy and all of that, it is because they are listening to those who are benefiting from this contraption now. Or are you benefiting from this contraption? You. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Don't look back. Are you benefiting from this Nigeria? Economically, security, prosperity, human rights protection, citizenship rights. Is there anything you can actually practically say you are going to lose if Nigeria breaks? Listen, if you are watching me from northern Nigeria, is there anything you think you are going to lose? Something you are benefiting now, that if Nigeria breaks, or the regional system is introduced, that you think you are going to lose? Tell me. Is it 24 hours electricity? Is it a standard education? Or the access to the same education? Is it the access to better healthcare that you are going to miss? Is it security that you are going to miss? Tell me that exact thing. That if Nigeria goes regional, you are benefiting now as a northerner, that you are going to stop benefiting, except for that your deluded, imaginary, born to rule mentality. You are born to rule, Abi, you are born to suffer. In reality, are you born to rule or you are born to suffer? I think it is the latter. You are born to suffer, but do you want to keep suffering? So if anybody tells you breaking up of Nigeria, regional system of government is going to make your life worse, tell them or ask them, how has being part of Nigeria make your lives better right now? Those of you they call the minority, do you not see the insult in that word? Minority tribes. Minority. And some of you actually accepted yourselves as minority. You are a nationality, ethnic nationality, a tribe, for God's sake. Does that not even tell you the inequality in this contraption at all? Minority group, minority tribe. The minority will suffer if Nigeria break up. Oh, don't join us with the Igbo. So we are going to suffer. The minority will suffer. Are you enjoying anything in this contraption right now as a minority? At least, let's start from where you are, your own state. In my own state, Ogun State, we have more than 15 sort of tribes. Okay? And if it is by land mass, okay, then you say you have 3 major ones. So they put all of us together, the Ijebus, the Remos, the Egbas, and the Aworis, the Yewas. Now, you see, in the political permutation, to bring equity, justice, and fairness, okay, they were supposed to be rotating the power among these three major regions in Ogun State. The Ijebus, once the Ijebus have it, the Egbas will have it, the Remos will have it, the Yewas will have it. But whenever it comes to the turn of the Yewas, the Ijebus, the Egbas, the Remos, they will team together and use their size to snatch that power from them. Who is speaking for the Yewa people? I'm using my own state too. You can use your own state too. Some of you can practically tell who dominates who in your different states right now. You know where you come from, Abi? Those artificial states. You know who dominates who. I come from the tribe who has been politically dominating others in Ogun State. I have no part in it too. Okay? Well, I couldn't have any part in it anyway. But I'm only using that as an example to let you know that if anybody is telling you that the breakup of Nigeria is going to make the minorities suffer, are they enjoying right now in Nigeria? And do you know why they are not? Because nobody was consulted before any state was created. None of us was actually asked where we wanted to be. None of us. They sat somewhere as political friends for their political agendas, and they started drawing it, and that's it. We've created this, just live with it. Live with it. You want to complain, oh, this is not fair, this is not fair. Well, who are you going to complain to? This is what Nigeria is right now. A regional system gives an opportunity to every tribe from every part to choose where they want to belong to and why. Yeah. You can choose where you want to belong to. And if all the conditions that you want to keep your own people protected, your interests protected, your land protected, if all these are met, then you can be part of that union. You can be part of that region. That is what it means to form alliance or form a country with people of like minds, that you share things in common, and you have to respect all those boundaries. Nigeria doesn't have that. We're not given that. They said it's not negotiable. We're just to take it and make it work. Just make it work. Come on. You guys should learn how to live together. Come on, come together. It doesn't work that way. It will never work that way. But let us continue to kick the can down the road, okay? And every now and then, we are going to meet it in the front. AREWA is watching me. Yorubas watching me. Igbos watching me. Every one of you watching me from every part of the world. Please take a look at me very well. Nigeria is going to break up. Now, how it is going to be done is going to be determined by the level of awareness that a lot of you have and the level of acceptance you have come to. I am going to advise you to stop trying in your head that maybe Nigeria will be great. You all want Nigeria to be great. You have no idea that the criminals in charge of that place do not want that. To them, it's already great. What are you talking about? What other great? Restructuring. Restructuring my put.
Elon Musk is talking about constricting the journey from London to New York to 31 minutes. But unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my put. To hell with restructuring. Let's improve on the quality of governance. Let's work for the people. Let's invest in education. Let's create jobs. All this madness will evaporate.
Then they went on to do the opposite. Let's invest in the people. They are investing in themselves, buying themselves cars, building new houses, building new offices for themselves. Right? Oh, let us, empower the people, but you are disempowering them, reducing their purchasing power, and the rest of that. Let us invest in education. Now you have more children out of school than ever in Nigeria history. Over 20 million children out of school. And can you even beat this? In Lagos State alone, there are over 2.4 million school children who are supposed to be in school, but they are not. Not that they are out there. You see, when you were growing up, that you will quickly go and sell something, go and hawk in the morning before you go to school. These days, we are talking about children that are not in school. They are not they are completely out of school, either begging or slaving. Do you understand that now? So they've gone to go and do opposite. And then you want a working country. From where? From the blues. Right. Here is somebody talking about the guys who you probably want to make Nigeria great. This is how they operate. Listen to this or watch this video. And if you are watching me on, if you are with me on TikTok, you probably would have to go onto YouTube to watch this, or you will just have to listen. I want you to pay attention, okay, to this. The country they told you will be great. And this is why they don't want Nigeria to break. This is the kind of money. And now they kind of share them, right? That they do not want to end. The money doesn't really impact on the lives of the people positively. Okay? But just listen to this few minutes clip.
Kenre representing Ondo Central. Prime Minister and then Executive Director of BOI. I have one fundamental question to ask for clarifications. We as democratically elected representatives of the people in the legislature, sometimes in May this year, we were asked to provide some names for a grant of 3.2 million each. I don't know whether it is the finances through BOI, but we are made to understand that this is intervention fund to assist small scale enterprises to grow. And we are made to understand that 3.2 million naira with a minimum of about 5,000 beneficiaries per state, between 3,000 to 5,000 per state. Candidates were supplied to the state's coordinator. And for my state, for instance, I, as a senator, I was asked to provide about 300 names in my 6 local governments for a grant, not a loan, of 3.2 million. Thereafter, after submissions, they were made to register officially, capturing their data, everything. At the point of disbursement, state governments were involved. The name of the program was NG Cares. NG Cares. That's what they told us it is to us. People were already happy that this administration meant well for people in the grassroots, because 3.2 million grant for a small scale enterprise like a fashion designer or a mechanic or a canteen owner will make significant difference to the life of the people. The people were involved. They asked them to come and capture. They did all these things. But last month, we were told that the state government hijacked it. They now reduce the NG care to Ondo cares as far as Ondo State is concerned. Oyo State reduces its own to Oyo State cares. But it's Nigeria government cares, that's the name, original, that takes 3.2 million grand. They meant well for Nigeria. But after the state government hijacked it, we were told that the figure of 3.2 million have been reduced to only 300,000 naira in Ondo State, 250,000 in Oyo State. I don't know of other states. Then the number of beneficiaries again was reduced from over 3,000 to only 100. Then we were confused that what has really transpired. We want you to throw more light on this because people are not happy. The people we represent are not happy. They talk whether it is senators that have hijacked it and changed to their pocket. That's why I'm telling the whole Nigeria that we don't know anything, but the state government will come and explain with BOI why this program has been issued, and along the line after names of people have been captured, their account number have been captured. They were expecting to receive fund grant, and new story come to play. That it is now 100 beneficiaries in the whole Ondo State, where over 3,000 people have registered. In Oyo State, only 250. So we became confused. We want you to throw more light to this, Mr. Idi, to tell us the real position.
And that was the end of it. Okay? That's how these guys actually, the way they move money, it is like money is going out of circulation or out of passion. Billions, just with a stroke of the pen. 100 billion, 300 billion. Again, one person will take that and put it in their own bank account. 3.2 million for 5,000 people per state. 3.2 million per person for 5,000 people. Yeah? That reduced to 250 for 300,000. The money is gone. And in Nigeria, somebody is building estate somewhere in Nigeria with that money. He's building a hotel in Nigeria with that money. He's building his own personal palace, mansion with that money somewhere in Nigeria. He's buying cars for his family members, his wives, his children. He's probably paying for his children education abroad as well, balancing the school fees for their children with that money. That is how they run that place. Then they create a theater whereby they are there acting different dramas to entertain us. Then they will do it again and again and again. Because you let them. Because you let them. So that's that. You know, the Sunday sermon was supposed to be me pouring out my mind, and I have. And I think I did well. It is just to let everybody know that regional system, even though the person that is proposing it, or the person that is sort of being alleged to be proposing it, which is Thiefnubu and his gang, testing the water, they are people of questionable characters, okay? And that is one thing that will make me and you never to buy into Thiefnubu's whatever agenda it is right now. It is never going to be regional system that you have in mind, okay? But I love the conversation whereby, yes, the rest of you must never be against it when it is genuinely being promoted and you have a shot at it, okay? It is a great thing. If you are from northern Nigeria, it is actually going to free you, finally, from the deceit and the lies that these guys have perpetuated for long. They have been hiding under Nigeria for so long. Same with all of you who are the Igbos, who have bought the lies that the Igbo land is landlocked, You are going to suffer if Nigeria break up and all that nonsense and lies. This is also going to help you to understand it better. To the people of Niger Delta, call yourself the real name though, right? Or you shall know what I mean. That feels like the Igbos are coming to come and take your oil. It's because of your oil. That's why they have Biafra. Educate yourselves. There's nothing you have that they don't have. The moment the people who have been artificially, right, demarcated away from their land and their people, and they have been made minority in different parts of this artificially created state in Nigeria, the moment they are allowed to actually choose where they truly belong to, then you will realize that you have been lied to for so long. Igbo land is not landlocked. What you have as a map of Nigeria today is designed by those who politically made it so for an argument like this. But it is obvious now that the reality is dawning on them. Those who intentionally drew the map and make it look like the Igbo land is landlocked, the same people are now afraid of being landlocked outside Nigeria. Igbos have everything, the Jaws, the Ishekiris, the Yorubas, all of you in that axis of Nigeria, there's nothing you have that they don't have access to. The moment the people are allowed to decide where they want to be, then you will realize that the fake map of Nigeria that you have, the fake map of the state that you have, they were artificial creation of those who are now, who told you Nigeria is not negotiable, okay? Those who told you Nigeria is indivisible. The reason why is because they kept a lie and it's about to break down. It is about to scatter. So don't join them in believing those lies. Don't join them in spreading those lies. The state with the highest deposit of liquid natural gas in Nigeria today is Imo State. That's an outland of Igbo land. Yeah? So just so you kind of have a clue of what they have told you that were not true. So as an Igbo man yourself, do not join them in propagating this falsehood that the Igbos would this, the Igbos would that. You have access to sea. All you have to do is to dredge your river first. Draw a corridor. Your river led to somewhere, right? And that is your own port. So to say, technology these days does that so conveniently. And I don't think the Igbos will be able to achieve that if they have the autonomy to actually decide for themselves this time. So don't join them, okay? It is going to be a great thing for everyone. For the first time, a lot of people from northern Nigeria, you are going to see through why the terrorism in northern Nigeria, which was put together to further blackmail Nigeria for power. The terrorism in northern Nigeria, the spread of religious fanaticism in northern Nigeria is never about the religion, it's never about the people, it's mostly about the power. To keep Nigeria hostage, to hold Nigeria hostage for as long as possible. But that will end the moment the chain is broken. And you have to break it in your head first. Trust me. You can. So I'll leave it at that. And yeah, I have this. I'll play you this video, right? Some of them were mad that Aisha would not stand up to sing Thiefnubu's national anthem. And I love their rage. Let me show you this. Bang, bang, bang. So that went viral. And that's our own way of protesting that, yes, Thiefnubu might have convinced you to be singing the slavish colonial anthem. And his own friends might have convinced you to, or trying their best to convince you. You do not have any right to sing it. It is illegal. Even in their own illegitimate government, as well as a lawless country, it is illegal. The process at which they did it is illegal. You are not binded. Okay? I know they will soon start arresting some of you, right? But your rage is misplaced. Thiefnubu has committed illegality, and he has forced it on the rest of you who have no idea what this even means, right? So they held her, they kind of grabbed her and said, why would you do that? So she said this.
Talking about the new and reformed national anthem, What do you think?
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, there's no new and old national anthem. There's only one, Arise to Compatriots, and that's what I'm standing. And Aisha, is put if I'm at any occasion and they ask me to stand up for the national anthem, I'm going to stand up for the national anthem. But if they start playing that, whatever they hail me, I'm sitting down, I'm picking my food, I'm not going to stand there, because for me, that's an obnoxious law. And the National Assembly have things that they need to focus on. If they are not ashamed of themselves, we, the citizens of Nigeria, are ashamed on their behalf. And that's not what they should be focused on. And right now, we have companies that are leaving Nigeria. We're losing a lot. Our GDP is going down. There's no security of lives and properties. And, you know, adults who are supposed to be adults sat down in one place and they say they want to take themselves back to Nigeria. They hail thee, because I don't know who is hailing that thee. And we have a national anthem that was done by a Nigerian. And they want to subjugate us to what was brought in by the colonial rulers were trying to get away. No, heck no. There's one that there's as far as there's one national anthem. Arise,
Aisha, and to some of these voluntary slaves, they have been calling for her arrest. They have called her different names, and she seems to be really up to the task with all of them, okay? And I support her too, because she's right, okay? But in Nigeria, where majority of them want to act like slaves, lily-livered cowards, they will tell you it's not good, but they do not have that liver to actually express themselves publicly because they don't want to be arrested. But don't try and be like Aisha, okay? Aisha, they said Aisha has been trying to make them arrest her. But why? You are the one asking them to arrest her. A lot of you are the ones who are feeling irritated by how she expresses herself. You slaves want everybody who says something about your criminal leaders to be arrested or to be killed. But you are all going to deny that you are slaves. You know how many of you have called for my own arrest simply because I was showing you how these criminals are destroying your lives and the lives of others. So that's what slaves does, okay? They're like, you are disrespecting elders. You are talking to elders like that. You're supposed to arrest this guy. Because slaves will rather be punished for what is called the insubordination, including if you disobey your masters. But you as educated slaves will now turn around and be like, you are the one who lack home respect. Home respect that the criminals you are following do not even give a damn about. Who trained them? Who raised these criminals? Your leaders, who raised them? Should their parents be proud? Should the parents of all these rogues ruining Nigeria, should their parents be proud? Because some of you I'll leave it at that, okay? So yes, Aisha, I do support that. And for this lady, right, this is enough for you to know why you should never be subjugated by people who are lawless. You shouldn't be the one obeying the law when they are totally disobeying the law. One of their law is to give you protection and welfare. Now, everything on the red or everything done red, totally hot.
Hello, everyone. Something just happened to me right now, and I think I need to share this with you guys. I don't know if you're also aware of it, but a bag of Gary is now 80,000 naira. Is Gary not meant to be a poor man's food or an average Nigerian's food? Like you know, our safety food. Like when you don't have money, as in you drink Gary. But if Gary itself is now 80,000 naira per bag, so how will the poor man survive now? If this is how it's going to be, if the poor man can no longer afford to buy Gary, something has happened though. Something has happened.
Auntie me, what are you doing?
I'm making a video to tell them about the.
Auntie me, something has happened.
What happened?
The Gary, half bag of Gary sent me to buy the Gary pot. The Gary pot.
Half bag of Gary?
Yes.
Hold on. Gary Nanu.
Yes. I don't know. Auntie me, please wake up.
Hello, everyone. Something just happened.
That's gonna be me like, Bugari, eh?
Don't drink that water. Don't drink that water. Let be poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that.
Let the poor breathe is already suffocating Una or endure. And I hope your coping mechanism will last longer than you can imagine, because this is going to be a long ride. All aboard Kolu's long ride of Shaggy. Get seated and relax. Go drink tea. So I'll come back and take a course, okay? So I will take course till let's say an hour, so that all of you want to tell me what you feel about regional government, regional this or that. Or if you are an AREWA watching me right now, see, I have told you, you can do it. You will be great without Nigeria, because waiting you gain now, waiting you go lose. The only thing you will lose is the free money that goes into the private pocket of your politicians. Not you, not the money that goes into your education, not the money that goes into security, not the money that goes into any real production. So what are you going to lose if Nigeria break up? Tell me. Pick up the phone. I am coming. I'm going to go get, I'm going to just shake my tea and I will be back.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn, in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. No.
Àtisebo, àtisete, àtisete, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisete, tìtó òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́, àtisete, òdìsete, kágbádé fálárì, àtisete, kágbẹ̀bí fálárì, àtisete, adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, àtisete, àtisete, òṣèlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, àtisete, àtisete, èdò gbówó ń tẹ́, àtisete, àtisete, ètisete, àtisete, ìjà ń jà aráàlú, àtisete, àtisebo, àtisete, àtisete, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisete, tìtó òdìmú òdodo.
Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun. How are you today?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Tegbesu from Nottingham.
Oh, say that again. Who's from Nottingham?
Tegbesu from Nottingham.
Tegbesu. You know one thing, right? I've always wanted to grab that name and never forget it, right? But only your voice is only the thing that keeps me going like, that's him. Baba, I said I should do the Sunday sermon, which we've not done in a while, today. And it's because of this raging topic. And you are from Edo State, yeah?
I'm from Delta State.
You are from Delta State, right? So you have some part of the history too that you should probably shed light on.
Actually, I'm partly from Edo State and Delta State.
Brilliant. So your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, my take. First of all, I want to talk about the national anthem.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is that people misconstrue. You know, there's a misconception that Thiefnubu introduced the national anthem because of the beef he's got with Obasanjo. And he made it one of his promises that when it comes to power, is going to introduce. But actually, that national anthem was embedded in the 2014 confab. Ezekome recommended it.
Yes.
And it's one of the recommendations of the 2014 confab. There was even a press conference about it. So it's not like Thiefnubu. Thiefnubu is the originator or the person that suggested the old national anthem. It's Ezekome, and it was one of the recommendation of the 2014 confab. Then secondly, I think that Thiefnubu has which holds Nigerian elites, governors, non-APC members, lawmakers, minority and local governments. It looks like that guy has got a hold on everybody. Because I can't understand why something will happen and no state lawmakers are protesting about it. They didn't go to court about it. Civil society didn't go to court about it. Even the Aisha Yusuf guy is kicking stink. She's not going to court about it. If you don't like something, you go to court. Right? If Aisha Yusuf has gone to court and she decided to stand up for the national item, right, then she's right. There's nothing they can do to her. But if she didn't go to court, she could be arrested for real.
Yeah?
Yes, she could be arrested for real because national item is a symbol and it's been passed as a law. If she's not happy with it, if she has gone to court about it, then there will be a what they call it, interlocutory something. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but
okay.
Apparently, yeah. So if she doesn't want to get up, right, she has the right not to stand up for the national item. Then number three, another recommendation I want to make that the regional breakup of Nigeria, which the APC is commending, which the Thiefnubu government is commending, right, is a small screen. Thiefnubu has a mission. Thiefnubu will be the last person, right?
There's a bigger thing in the pipeline.
No, it's like a blackmail with the northern powers to be that they should support his next agenda of 2 terms, 6 years, which is going to make him spend 12 years in power. And his blackmail will be that if you don't want me to go ahead with the regional breakup, then support my ambition for 6 years, 2 terms. No, Jonathan suggested it before. 1 year, 6 years. 1 term, 6 years.
1 term, 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, but Thiefnubu wants it 2 times 6 years. He's going to push that agenda. Trust me. It's a blackmail. This regional something is a blackmail. It's got very good spin doctors.
Like you said.
Yeah, it's a small screen.
People should look out for something even more sinister than that.
Sinister, I'm telling you, man. Thiefnubu has very good spin doctors. And he's done it in Lagos, he's doing it in federal. Thiefnubu will be the last person to give up power to regional government while he's in power. Never.
Shitman came out and said, we shouldn't be talking about regional deals. We should be talking about good governance and give people. He came out today and he said that. And I was like, why is he saying that? Are you not there to give people good governance now? Or he's also shocked to be hearing it that is already in the old their circle.
Yeah. Why I got suspicion is that the Yorubas, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ethnic group in Nigeria, right, that challenges their leaders.
Yes.
The most opposition of Thiefnubu today are the Yorubas.
No doubt.
The most people that are supposed to be, so it's the last person that I want to relieve power, right, to the region. Because when it goes to the region, right, Thiefnubu will be powerless. The Jebus will challenge him, the Albans will challenge him.
We will.
Everybody will challenge him. Even the stronghold in Lagos, right, will lose that stronghold. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a small screen, right, for him to spend 12 years in power. Thank you very much, Maiyegun.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to leave it.
I appreciate this, okay? God bless you. So it is Sunday sermon, ladies and gentlemen, or brethren, in the temple. This is your GO, okay? And that is the Maiyegun General here in the temple. You can be part of it. Absolutely. But however, let me say very big thanks to Onyemachi, Onyeuku. Did I pronounce that right? Thank you so much for your generosity, okay? And then, yes, I did have someone earlier, but I kind of took that off. So let me go say thank you too. I also have another caller on the line, which I'm going to say, please hang in there for me for a second, because if I don't do this now, I may not have a chance of saying thank you to this fellow. So please bear with me. And remember, this is a Sunday sermon, remember? and you need to like the broadcast. That is your offering. Now, people when they go extra mile, right? Now, then they put on super chats. But the fact that you are here, no ogun offering or right? Just like the broadcast, just once, and you're done. Here is my caller. Sorry, my caller. I want to say a big thank you to Waski. Henry, thank you so much for your generosity. Same goes to Chika, Omari, Alfred. Bless you too. Thank you so much. Now, here is my caller. Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
I don't want to shout today again. Last time I called you, I was shouting, you know. But let me take it very easy now. I don't want to discuss much.
Go on.
Yeah, I don't want to talk much on their new anthem or the regional things. Today is Sunday sermon.
Yes.
I want to go straight to the what's called religion.
Talk.
No, not regionalism. I mean religion.
Oh, you want to talk
religion?
Okay. Go for it, then.
Yeah, this Adeboye, blah blah blah, and all these things that is happening. You know, I've seen our youths to work on them. It will be very, very difficult because people offline are more than, they are 100% more than people online in Nigeria. Let me not talk of Africa. Let me use Nigeria that I know. Maiyegun, people are learning from you, but there are few. I've tried my best to post. Anyway, I forgot to tell you, I'm a Smart Temple calling from HK, Hong Kong.
Right.
You know, I was the one that yeah.
This my caller from South Korea. I was holding on to see if I could get it tuned. So Hong Kong. Your name again? Sorry.
Yeah. Smart Temple on Facebook. Temple. I posted something. Aisha Yusuf not standing up with their anthem. You know, I wouldn't know that I would get myself, I don't know, I don't get money on internet. I wouldn't know I would get myself 8,000 plus, getting to 2,000 viewers.
Yeah.
Aisha didn't stand up. I just posted it. It was, anyway, that's by the way. That's by the way. Yeah. And the major thing is about this Adeboye and Chris Oyakinome and Dunamis, all those guys. Please, do they have a retirement age? Retirement age to retire. When you work, maybe you're working for God or you're working for a Sky Daddy. You don't have retirement age to retire. Then you relax. Other people will continue. Retirement age in Africa or in Nigeria, I think is maybe 60 years or 65, if I'm not mistaken.
They just moved it to 70 now.
These guys don't have retirement age. That's what I'm asking. That's number one. Secondly, the way they're dealing with our youth is something I don't know what to say. Our youths are turning to pastors or younger charlatans or spiritualists. They're turning people, you carry Bible, you dress well, you wear shoes. I don't know what to do. There's one lady, you call her, hey, I forgot her name. I don't want to do again today. Celia, sorry. She always analyze things that I know. Maiyegun, you're trying really. I have a lot to say because about Thiefnubu, I'm really awakened, to be honest. I told my twin brother today, I was talking to him because I asked him, how is Charade today? We don't call it church. He said, my guy, my children don't even go church. Say, only my wife go church today. Say, him know they go church. My twin brother know they go church. I don't wash people brain. I don't wash all of them. Waiting be church. Adeboye finish my family. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Maiyegun, I wish I would have opportunity to just talk to you one-on-one, just offline. You know, I will tell you, I've been I try. Anyway, Prejeje man, Udo Derege, Princess Udo Derege Ima. I mean, make una day, I beg, I hail everybody in the building.
Great one, dude.
I have a lot to say, but I just day weak.
I know.
I hope
you'll be up at night as well, so you possibly join us then too, you know.
I wish, Maiyegun, you know, our time here is a different time from yours. For me, I always like to watch your program after time, as in after whatever, so that when Kolu they talk, I go push and front more. I enjoy more. You don't say me a comedian. I don't lie. I'm a very big comedian.
So
I enjoy Kolu, but the point
instead of like this no. Sometimes person not supposed to take it to serious, you know.
Oh, my Nigerian are comedy now, as in a comedy country from Dumeje to Adepoye to I don't even know what to say. It's like I don't have strength. The day where I have strength, I will talk and I will shout. Please, I'm sorry. Please, everybody in the Temple of Truth, you guys, Maiyegun is the best. Maiyegun is the best.
Thanks.
Maiyegun is the best. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice one. So that's the smart there, ladies and gentlemen, smart temple. Speaking at the Temple of Truth. Kind of like a wordplay. Makes sense, you say. I do have another caller, but before I connect them, okay, indeed, please, like, share, like smart temple said. Yeah. Hello.
All right, Maiyegun General.
Baba.
Happy Sunday.
Same to you. How are you?
Lakatabu from Paris.
Rio. Baba, how are you today?
I'm very good. I have a quiz for you. I don't know if you answered the quiz. A quiz.
You have a quiz for me? Okay.
Yes. And I hope you answered the quiz very good and nice.
If I know it.
Who discovered River Niger?
Well, somebody said it was who was this guy again? I put that
Mongo Park.
Yeah, they said
Mongo Park.
That's not true. So since then, I don't believe that.
Who stopped the killing of the twins in Nigeria?
There was no real killing of twins, but historically they said Mary Slessor. But later we found out that there was actually no killing of twins. Twins were actually worshipped in that part of Nigeria. But again, go on.
So, if all these things has been quick up together and form what they call Nigeria, so definitely that Nigeria you are talking about, what is it? It's based on all lies. From beginning to the end.
Like if you begin to question so many things, you can easily
from the foundation. According to Yoruba, we say, Amukun eru ewo. One is Isale Longo Woke. All lies.
That's true.
There is no two way to this thing, Maiyegun. We are going our separate way.
We will. Eventually.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, there is no two way to it. If the foundation of what they call Nigeria together are based on lies, and not in now, did Kolu didn't win election?
No.
Kolu didn't win election?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. So what is this? The government on the seat now. Is it not a lie?
You cannot have connection with the people genuinely, because Thiefnubu sees people as commodities. Okay. Everybody just comes to him.
Maiyegun.
Baba.
Yeah. Maiyegun.
Yeah.
Let's say from the police to the soldiers to the customs to the immigrations, all are based on what?
Pure
lies. So what are you talking about? We have to go our separate way.
Because you know that Thiefnubu doesn't see people as people. Here you get people. Thiefnubu doesn't see everyone like people. He sees people as commodities. Okay, that could be purchased. He doesn't care who you are. You can be bought.
Maiyegun, let me give you another one.
Yes,
who made Lagos? Who made Lagos?
Well, they said him, but we all know that Lagos has been made far back then. About
Lagos that have been what Lagos have been for over 4,000, 5,000 years. That Lagos you are looking at. If they should give you the history.
Yes.
Your history as a Yoruba man. As a Yoruba man, if they tell you your history, Maiyegun, when they should tell you the real history of Yorubas. And these people, what if you run like cover loju? Up to now, as I was in Loyibo, anybody that did Loyibo, àwọn òyìnbó, kí ni reason tí àwọn tó wà ní diaspora tó ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pariwo pé they should give them a legitimate government, because when the rí bí àwọn òyìnbó ṣe treat wọn, what they call racism was there. So you started feeling to go back home after making why did you run here?
Yeah.
And you make your money, you want to go back home. Then you can't go back again. Then that is the shout. That's why the people in diaspora started shouting.
And now
that give us new government. You want to go back, but no, they cannot go. No, they cannot go back.
To.
You don't have any home to go back to. No, you have been forced to be here. And now let me tell you another thing that is brewing up that you don't know.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, they will do it. They say they are going to recolonize the Africa. In the next 10 years, oh no, Maiyegun, if it didn't happen, I don't want to be offended. These white people, because of what Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, and the rest they did, they have a plan for 5 years. I'm telling you, if you are in abroad, to back cross the ordinary zebra cross, lason, Maiyegun, prison.
Yeah.
Prison. Ordinary zebra crossing, zebra crossing.
Criminal record on their name.
Oh, they will surely àwọn tó wà ní Europe, diaspora, and the Americans. They will catch all of them and put you in prison, and they will now attack the people in Africa. So after that, they will recolonize you people. But all these things that we are saying,
those who are going to make it happen with it are there.
And then the ones that are going to make it happen with it are this so-called Thiefnubu. And the rest
jump. They are just going to say, "How high do you want me to?"
So that's why when I have a friend here. He's about 57 years old.
Elderly.
When you tell him to narrate his life history for you, then he will start telling you how he started. You know, when you are 57, you will see some little grace. When Nigeria is still good.
Yes.
Then when Nigeria started going back to rotting.
You witness it all.
Then when you tell him to tell you the history, I'm telling you to God who made me, he will burst to laugh. He will burst to crying. He will start crying. So, but why are you crying now? I think to say narrate your story, your history. He will start crying like a small baby. He's tell you that.
Thank you so much, Baba.
But anyway,
we never stop talking, we will never stop waking minds and
but
up.
Maiyegun, there is no two way to it.
No.
Everybody should go their way. Thank you so
Happy
Sunday. Happy Sunday.
You too, sir. So that's a good one there. You two can be part of this. We still have like about, let me see, 45. Yeah, 45 minutes possibly to go. Here, hello. Hello there, can you hear me? Okay, it's like somebody dropped when they got picked, so I'll try it again. Hello there. Okay, lost that too. Let's try another one. Hello, can you hear me?
Maiyegun wagbayi.
Papa.
Wagbayi omo wagbayi. O like omo hello?
I can hear you, sir.
First time caller. I've been listening for your show for a long time.
That's amazing. So let's welcome. What's your name, sir?
My name is Wahab Kalejai.
Sir Wahab. So okay. Let's welcome
London
for the first time, sir. Please.
Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
There is no doubt. Look on me. If I need free time, happy. There's no doubt, look on me. Late show, current show, man. But in Kokoni converse of Laleyi.
Yes, sir.
Keep it up.
I will.
Ọlọ́run ọba láàánú kò ní fàyè aṣọ yìí yálà rẹ̀. Èèyàn yìí ní ẹ̀hún. Èèyàn yìí ní ẹ̀hún. Onísójà gan lẹ́yìn o. Ọjà nǹkan kan sáré sọ̀rọ̀ kan kí n má gba time jù.
No problem, sir.
Ní pé Mùsùlùmí ni mí, o ti rí mi rí one time. Èmi ni onírùgbọ̀n nínú onírùgbọ̀n tó mo fẹ́ jù ìjọ tí mo rí mi ní many times London. But àwọn people yìí, wọ́n ṣe Mùsùlùmí. Monastic ni wọ́n, hypocrite ni wọ́n. But nǹkan kan tó wà lọ́kàn tèmi, Ahmed Bola Tinubu Shetima wọ́n ṣe Muslim ticket either. Ó lè gbé ó lè gbà láwọn méjì. But nǹkan kan tèmi kàn fẹ́ sọ ni pé ká pín ni. Religion yẹn ló máa fi ń play card, ló máa fi ń divide wa. Ipe èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ kan against kinní kan. Bàbá Muyideen ni Nàìjíríà yẹn wá sọ̀rọ̀ kan lẹ́nu jẹ́ mẹ́ta yìí. Àwa ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mọ̀ ẹ́ pé wọn náà ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mo ti ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà wo ni kò gbàdúrà fún. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣe Nàìjíríà, òjò yìí ń rọ̀, òórùn yìí ń rọ̀, òṣùpá ń yọ̀. Kí la wá ń sọ? Àwọn former Chief Justice of Nigeria ó kó $75 billion wá sílùú yìí, wọ́n jí owó yẹn wá sílùú yìí. Wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n máa fún Nigerian government ní 25 nínú ẹ̀. Níbo ló ti ń ṣe yẹn? Tó wáyé pé China ni wọ́n ti pa mọ̀ kọ̀fẹ́sùwà lórí kílẹ̀ mi. But at the same time, àwọn people Hausa ìlú, àwọn Fúlàní ìlọ lówó jí, wọ́n ti rówó jí. But àwa ó yẹ ká ìwà lórí pride wa. Àwọn nǹkan tó ń bẹ hágì wípé bóyá òun sọ̀rọ̀ kan sáwọn àgbàlagbà kò tí ì dojú ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀mí gan ti pé 60 but Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àdàgbà ya ni ìgbà téèyàn dàgbà 60 tó pé 70 tó pé 80 tó pé 90 tó yìí ń purọ́ kí ló wá kù fún ẹ ó ti dàgbà ya nìyẹn orí burúkú ti bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn èmi náà máa ń ṣe message yẹn kọ́ send message kan sí mi láàárọ̀ yìí tó bá rí báwọn bandit yẹn ṣe ń train àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké nínú ọmọ 7 years wọ́n fún sìgá mu wọ́n fún gbó mu wọ́n fún lápọ̀ mu ìyá Rísí ìyá Elizabeth ìyá Wàhábì ìyá Túnjí ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ yìí fẹ́ bá dàgbà nìyẹn ẹ tí ì rí nǹkan kan
àwọn leaders of tomorrow baba
àwọn leaders of tomorrow Maiyegun má jẹ́ ń gba time
thank you so much
àwa sójà lẹ́yìn ẹni but same time jọkan wà á tún sọ̀rọ̀ you are a man of integrity o nítorí ngbà kan tó ń dá £100 oníkan tó ń dáwọ́ Nigeria Yorùbá nation ó dáwọ́ tèmi padà gbà tó wòyàn kọ́kọ́ lọ mo dẹ̀ ti ń wá time tí máa tún fi owó yẹn tún owó àmúdá a máa sọ̀rọ̀ jọ torí Ọlọ́run nọ́mbà mi méjì ló ní mo mọ̀ pé onílé òtún nìkan.
ilé gangan ló dẹ̀ kù sí eléyìí original sí the other one yẹn àti close ẹ̀ so ẹ máa lò
ó di close ẹ̀ eléyìí ìjọba ń save ẹ̀ anytime send link yẹn padà sí mi mo ìfẹ́ send owó yẹn àti ètò ti save àti ètò ti save wà gbáyìí wà gbáyìí one love.
Yes sir. Can you nice day sir. Shebo.
You too.
Yes sir. Yes sir. So sorry to everyone who didn't understand Yoruba. Okay, so the elderly man who just called in there practically just came on to remind all of us, okay, that it is not ideal to be dishonest when you are older. Now, this whole thing happening, the ideal thing is for everybody to kind of support the idea of going their separate ways. Now, if anybody think Maiyegun has no respect for elders and the rest of that, people should actually take a look at those Maiyegun, those you think are elders that deserves respect, that Maiyegun is not giving it to, right? Talking about myself, right? Then he was like, how could he's going to his own 60th, on earth. And it practically agrees that you can't be of that age and still be very dishonest, misleading young generation in your 70s, your 80s, your 90s. That tells a lot about you. And then, if you think you are still an elder that deserves respect, then you're wrong. Maiyegun is right. God bless you, Baba. So they said they are the ones who are giving me confidence. They say now they give me liver. All of you, the Templars. Well, it is true because I've not done anything wrong. I've not done anything wrong. I am a victim of a failed country. And all I could do is to help wake the mind of you know, people like myself to stand up, or else we are going to have, you know, we're going to die. And before they kill us, we choose to kind of speak out and speak up, right? So yeah, there is another caller. Are you there? Hello. Okay.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Oh, bless you. I thought I lost you there, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm here. This is Mr. Chris from Michigan, United States.
That is Sir Chris. Did you say from Chicago?
Oh, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Bless you, Baba. How are you today, sir?
Yeah. Good, you as your family.
Very well. Thanks. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say something on this issue of the national anthem. I think I kind of disagree with the Egbesu guy that called.
Okay, Egbe.
So, in a democracy, if citizens are being arrested for protesting, will you call that democracy anymore?
No.
Okay. So that these criminals passed a law returning everybody back to the abandoning the national anthem.
Colonial pledge. I know.
Yes, taking us back to Egypt.
There's no public hearing, no. There's nothing, no. Just them. But we have to obey.
Yeah, taking us back to Egypt.
See?
And someone is saying because it's a law they passed, you could be arrested for protesting. That's a stupid suggestion to me. I'm sorry to use that word, because if we lose our right to protest, then if we protest, we are arrested, then it's no longer democracy. It's no longer a free society.
No.
So anybody can protest. You can even, in America, you can burn an American flag in protest. You will not be arrested.
I mean, we see them do that anyway, so yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but there's
like
no breaking of law.
Crazy, Sir Chris, right? I saw Americans, right, who were saying, why would anybody actually like arrest anybody because of burning a flag? It's just a cloth.
No.
I was like,
no.
Just a cloth, though.
No.
This American,
exactly.
It's not just a cloth. Now we're told in my country that it's not just a cloth. But Americans are like, damn that. It's just a cloth. You can get another one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
American.
So, yeah. So when I saw that video, I praised Aisha for her courage, for her.
Too.
Yeah, for her. You know, she's a lioness. So
you can't be. You know something? What people say, Sir Chris. They say, if you say, well, me, I'm not going to sing it. I mean, I don't like this taking us this backward and all of that. Then the next thing these Agbadorians will tell you is that if they play it, don't start up and sing then. Okay.
But how will
Of course, you can play it and I will sit down.
Anthem?
Sacred.
How will the new national anthem bring Gary to 2 naira?
Let me ask, please.
Or a bag of rice to 20,000? Or NLC is going on strike from Monday. How will it give them the 400,000 they are demanding? So they leave everything that they should be doing, and they're talking about national anthem. And this shows that they are delusional. They don't know what they are in there for. They are exactly. So anybody can protest like me. If I get to the airport on my way to Nigeria and they say, oh, before we stamp this, your passport, you have to sing the new national anthem. I will not do that.
No.
If they are, let them keep me in Nigeria. I'm already there. But I will never do that. So I think the Nigeria we held this stuff is, they want us now to start praising their failure by saying Nigeria we healthy, so that they will show that even though we are most Nigerians are slaves, so they have to be obedient to
and they have to profess it at every corner of the country.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, you have to sing it.
You have to sing it so that the whole world exactly. Exactly, in your midst of suffering, you have to be singing Nigeria we healthy. So then the issue of regional government. Why would they not be crying wolf now.
I am wondering.
I thought,
like,
I thought it's the Igbos that will suffer when they do regional
it is
government.
so. I wouldn't believe it in my life that these guys are going to tell themselves the truth one day, especially if the old truth actually hits home.
Exactly.
So it is not the Igbos that are landlocked anymore. It is the North.
It's now the North. The North now is disadvantaged. Since 1966, I mean 1960, up to this moment, how many presidents have they produced? They have more states, they have more local governments, they have more, they hold money, they are, exactly, the representation, they are more represented than any region in Nigeria. So they have more population according to their census. They have more of everything, and they still say they are disadvantaged.
I remember that time when they stopped a food blockade to the west, I mean to the south. They said they feed us in the south. Now we are saying, okay, you know what? You could actually use all of that for yourself and let the south suffer. Okay, let the Igbos, Yoruba, let us suffer. Or I am so, I mean, I became shocked. Chris.
Exactly.
Yesterday when I started seeing all this tantrum, I was like, oh, is this real?
If they feed the rest of Nigeria, why is it that they have more people begging with
because those are the lies they have been telling themselves.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a moment of truth. And I think we are already approaching that now, Chris.
Yeah, and this is why they don't want, when they tell you the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, it's because of them. They know they will lose. They know they will lose. They will know. They know they are the one who's going to face famine and more hardship.
But they do not have. They see, Chris. They do not have enough courage to actually turn on their own criminal leaders and say, "See what you have done to us." So they will start. They will rather attack the Igbos, attack Yorubas, attack everybody else, but their leaders. And that's what they are doing right now.
Yeah, that's what they are doing already. And Shetima is saying regional government is foot.
My foot.
Talking about good governance. He's been a governor before he became he's been a senator too. Before he's now the vice president. What has he done to give good governance to his state?
Well, he accommodated.
What did he do?
Boko Haram terrorists.
And now he's talking about how to give good governance.
Chris,
after being a governor for 8 years, being a senator, now a vice president, and you're talking about why don't we talk about nobody's holding them from giving anybody good governance.
You give the good governance and see
exactly.
And then tell people
that's why
we're not giving you good governance. Why are you still talking about this? Please now, the people can say no, we want more than this. Good governance, so good country, safe country, safe economy, but all of these things you deny them.
Exactly.
And then you want them to be singing national anthem to be patriotic.
He did not say he did not say we are giving you good governance. Rather, he said, why don't we talk about good governance?
Why don't we talk about we are talking about?
As you are the president, you are the vice president, you are a senator, you want 8 years governor, and you are not saying, why don't we talk? You are the president, you are there, you have everything, give us good governance. Then and see what we can make out of the whole thing.
And then you can say,
that shows you.
Maybe you remember that Nigeria has no 24 hours electricity, right? We have given you that. Now everywhere in Nigeria 24 hours. Do you remember when they used to kidnap people in Nigeria? Now nothing like that anymore.
Nothing like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, that
and the Naira has strength now.
But we still want to go away anyway.
Yeah.
You know that kind of thing? But you have given us nothing. And you believe in your guns and everything that will keep us. For how long, Chris? For how long?
That's I don't know. I don't know how these idiots. I don't know how they think we feel about the whole thing. Whether they think we don't have the right to anything.
Anything except what they say we should take.
I don't know. And their failure is glaring already.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maiyegun.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You enjoy your Sunday, okay? See you after.
And you.
Nice one. So I think hang on. I think I have a caller here too. My time is gradually like rounding up, okay? I've only got just about 20 minutes to go. Here is another call. Hello there.
Yeah, Maiyegun, it's me again.
Oh, I told you never to always call back that way. Come on. When people react to what you say, right, you always want to, okay, I'll give you just 1 minute. Will you stick to that, sir? Oh, okay. Bless you. You know, one thing is that in order for us to actually let this go around, right, I don't want us to be like, you know, you can just take it in. When you say something on here, there are people that are going to actually respond to it. And I try my best to encourage everybody to respectfully disagree. Okay? Do not say because you are disagreeing with someone and all of that, and then, you know, kind of abuse or pass some insult on them. I do my best to ensure of that, okay? However, sometimes because of the shortage of time and all that, okay, we can't really entertain someone calling twice. I apologize, all right? Well, here is another caller. Are you there?
Yes, Maiyegun, how are you?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
I so much enjoy your show, and I love each time I watch you.
Thank you.
You are doing a very wonderful job.
Thank you.
All the contribution. My name is Fidelis. Anyway, I'm calling from Maryland, United States.
I didn't catch the name. You said that so fast.
Fidelis.
Say that again.
Fidelis.
Fidelis from Maryland. How are you this morning, or almost noon anyway?
I am wonderful. First time caller anyway. This is my first time.
Do you mind this? Let's announce your arrival. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Fidelis from Maryland. Please speak on, sir.
Okay. The only contribution I want to make, you know, listening to your previous callers, Nigeria they need to dismantle that country. They just need to dismantle that country. That's the only way we are going to survive.
Break it up to save lives.
Break it up, save lives, and people will be more happier than what we have now. As it is now, there is no country. So we just need to break up. If not, like the last caller, we are going to be recolonized again. And once we get recolonized, that's when it's going to really be bad for the people of Nigeria. That's all the contribution I just need to add.
Thank you for reiterating that, sir. Fidelis. Yes. Thank you so much, okay? You have a good one, sir, right? Now, that's Fidelis from Maryland, US of A. So I have, hang on, what's that time again? Yeah. We have just about 20 minutes, and we can still possibly, maybe, hang on, no. We can possibly still get taking like maybe about 3-4 calls if we can manage it well. So you should go like that broadcast if you haven't already. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun General. Good morning to you, my brother.
Good morning to you too. Prince Adewale, the African Wahala. How are you today, sir?
I am doing very well, sir.
Grant, please.
I'm good. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to rant again about the traditional institutions. And it all comes into play as far as breaking up this contraption, this evil entity that was created by foreigners from another continent for their own benefit. And after creating that entity, for the next 125 years, the entity destroyed the lives of at least 80% of the population on a consistent basis. Then the people that created that entity went back to their continent and was managing the entity from that place. I mean, it's a little bit different from countries like the United States of America, Canada. They were also created by people from another continent. But the difference is, after they created these countries, they remained and made it work for the future generations. But I digress. I wanted to talk about the traditional institutions, my brother. How come I am poverty-stricken? I am poor as hell. I have nothing in life. I wake up in the morning, poverty all around me, surrounded by poverty, no hospitals, no good schools, no nothing. My only future ambitions is to go and become a conductor in Lagos. That's my future ambition. And that is the life of millions of people in Southwest Nigeria, right? Why should I, after my life has been destroyed, still have any respect for any traditional ruler? What king am I serving? What king expects me to be a subject when I can see that my king is a billionaire having relationships with the politicians that have destroyed everybody? But I'm still supposed to have some respect for that king and his throne. Why? That's not going to happen. No. That's why people like me are advocates for the complete, throw those kingship, those traditional institutions in the garbage, the same way we're going to throw these political institutions and the religious institutions. They all work hand in hand to keep us destroyed and poor while they remain extremely rich. So I'll ask the question one more time. I am poverty stricken. I have no future, but I'm supposed to show respect to a traditional institution that benefits from my poverty. Why should that be the case? So that's a question for the people around. And then finally, for the people that are crying about when Nigeria breaks up, because it's going to break up.
It will.
You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be afraid because you are already poor. You already have nothing. You're already poverty stricken. You're already living in a society where there is no security. Police will kill you and sprinkle drugs and guns on your body and claim that you were an armed robber and nothing is going to happen. You want to go to the court system. The courts, the government officials throw court orders in the garbage. So that's the court system you want to depend on. Good luck to you.
Then go to dinner with the judge at a cheap restaurant you can find.
Exactly. Pay the judge billions of naira. So keep dreaming that you have a country. Keep imagining that, oh, when Nigeria breaks, we're going to suffer. You're already suffering. Okay. And you can pretend. You can pretend that you're not already suffering. Eventually, we will all dance to the music. Thank you, Maiyegun General.
Bless you. The African Wahala. You never miss always. So thanks for this one too. I'll see you later, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So that's a beautiful one because to me, the question I will ask myself is this. For example, now, if they say they want to deport me to Nigeria, okay, and I start protesting it, no, don't take me to Nigeria. They will say, what do you gain for this UK where you did? What do you go lose if they deport you? Then when I begin to say them and all of that, they say, oh, it's true, it's true. Oh, yeah, fight. No grill. No grill for them. I understand you now. No grill. But if I ask you now that what is it you think you're going to lose? That you are benefiting right now as a Nigerian, as part of Nigeria. Something you believe that if Nigeria should break, it's going to be over. That you are benefiting from directly like others, right? Is it security, the economy, employment, or the prosperity of the land? Citizenship right, your right. What exactly do you think you're going to lose? The people that are going to lose the control, you know what they are going to lose? They're going to lose control over you. They're going to lose the control over your resources. Lose the control over everything that they currently hold over you right now. And they are those who are telling you, you are going to lose. But they can't tell you what you are going to lose. The AREWA leaders, the emirs, the sultans, and the rest of them, they should be able to tell you what you are going to lose if Nigeria goes regional way or Nigeria breaks up. You will realize that they will have nothing to tell you, but they will be talking about themselves. Yeah. Because they will no longer have that resources to live that exorbitant luxury life they are living. Okay? They will not have that resources to present themselves as your philanthropists, rich uncles, rich this, that inherited money from Dan Tata. Wait till me Dan Tata business. Who gave him the first money? Who gave him the first money? And that's how they have sustained it. And to sustain all these supposed rich North billionaires, Nigeria has to remain one. So that the oil will have to continue to flow. And every other thing that they can use to live on, they have to take it from Nigeria. They can't have all of that in northern Nigeria. They've destroyed the place themselves. So if they tell you that if Nigeria breaks, you will suffer, ask them as a northerner, waiting with the gain right now that we're going to lose. Yeah. Hello there.
MaiyegunsDiary Politico.
Yes, sir.
This is Chike from Edmonton, Canada.
Oh, my darling Chike. Dear Chike, I have been seeing that name and I've been seeing your comments as well. And I'm like, could it be same Chike? And I'm glad it's you. How is Edmonton?
Edmonton is good. Weather is getting better. Thank God.
Enjoy it while it lasts, though, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. How about you and your family? How are you guys doing?
We are very well too, surviving, and then thankful. Thank you so much for asking.
Awesome.
And how about your
nice.
family?
Let me
too?
just
How is everyone?
Let me just add some comments to what has been going on. The national anthem.
Let's start.
Okay,
please.
The way it was changed was an absolute disgrace. I don't know if I'm sure you saw the video when Akpabio asked about the yeas and the nays. It was clear.
I remember.
Yes, it was clear that the nays had it, but he gave it to the yeas. So already that's illegal, right? We thought Ahmed Lawan was a rubber stamp. I don't know what we're going to call Akpabio. We need to get a name for him, right?
And we will.
We will. Their belief is, I think it's just a way of, massaging their nostalgic feelings, Maybe these older folks, it takes them way back.
Always a feel-good moment of, if we could have that, then let's have it.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going on. And unfortunately, many of them can't even sing the anthem, which is... of course, which is...
And it was so disgraceful enough that you could easily read it all over their faces, that they do not give a damn about it.
For sure. And Thiefnubu was lip-syncing. It's just disgraceful. They believe that, the anthem, the wordings of the anthem will kind of brainwash the society. But that's not what's going to happen, For us to be patriotic, they need to provide us the basic needs: food, healthcare, water, things like that. That's what's going to make us patriotic, I've been in this country for a long time in Canada. Sometimes I ask myself, what the hell am I doing here? If my country was good, I don't want to be dealing with the different stuff I deal with here, But it's unfortunate. Now it will take me to Aisha Yusufu, right? Yeah, refusing to stand up. Listen, that lady is a hero. I'm telling you.
Jeez.
That lady, she has been consistent, just like you, right? And there's nothing like consistency, right? And nothing can be done to that lady. I can assure you, if the government is smart, they should learn to leave her alone. Because the moment they touch that woman, I can bet you Nigeria is going to start burning.
They will
and
feel
it's
it,
going to be
because if
something.
all of them could actually put up for head like I have seen them done in the last 2 days, right? It simply means that, they could probably matter in a way. If they are smart,
of course,
they should avoid her.
They should avoid her. Let her keep doing what she's doing, keep fighting for us in her own way, right?
That's right.
From there, let me jump to the regional, this regional government, the possible talk of a regional government. I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds about it. I think it's a good idea because, that's what we've been clamoring for, for a system where there's some sort of decentralization. Because if you really look at it, I think research and stats has it that in dynamic environments such as Nigeria, whenever there's a possibility of decentralizing leadership, there tends to be, efficiency and things work.
Yes, no.
Now, yes, but my only issue here is that the person who is trying to do it stole the mandate.
So it's not got legitimacy to do it. So everyone should suspect him, and suspecting him, your suspicion of him is legit. You can't trust him. It's impossible.
You can't trust him.
No.
And that tells us he has an ulterior motive.
He would rather take advantage of it and make it his own. Never about the people.
It's never about the people. And going to your point about never about the people, the North is crying because it's not about the people. It's about the elites.
Yes.
They're scared of what they're going to miss out in the event that there's a decentralization, right? But
some said that they said the regions with everything, they will oppress them by developing them. And I was like, that's an indictment then that even before, but you know something, Chike, there's this damage too that we should also acknowledge that these successive AREWA leaders have achieved. It is to make all of their people believe, right, that their only survivor is to cling on to Nigeria. If they should by any means miss Nigeria, it's over for them. And some of them believe that. That makes them more aggressive towards the rest of Nigeria, especially the Igbos that are demanding for referendum. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's one thing this election actually exposed that. It did expose that, and it dispelled that notion that Igbos cannot support somebody, that Igbos don't come out to vote, that Igbos are disenfranchised. You know, if Igbos were really disenfranchised, why are they not actually clamoring for this regional government? They know for sure that they're going to lose a lot, and that's why they're in panic right now. And it's good for them, you know. Now the only problem again is
awakening for all of them to stop living in denial.
Of course, absolutely. So again, the person who is trying to implement it is a criminal, you know, has no mandate. So it's a dilemma. It's
like we are at the crossroad. And there's, on the one hand, some of us want to say, well, it's a good idea. But on the second hand, we are looking at the person that is being linked to. Then we are also kind of seeing other motives that we shouldn't be seeing. So that kind of justify why they cannot be trusted. I like the conversation, and I love their reactions too. Let's keep it, moving. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Maiyegun, last thing I want to say.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who says you're not an Omoluabi is a liar, right? Because if there's one thing I know for sure, you've been consistent. Listen, whenever I hear people talk about how they were watching you since the kitchen, I feel envious because I never had that opportunity. And I was like, where the hell was Maiyegun, or where the hell was I? You know, but one day I went back.
Those era, they were like the raw Maiyegun. I don't think you want to see that again.
Oh, trust me. You know, it's good to see it now. I'll tell you, Maiyegun, I went back and I watched some of your old videos in the kitchen. And I also let you know, like, when I listen to you sometimes, truth be told, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm elated, I'm happy. But that is because you tell the truth.
Yes.
You know, you're like, listen, my late mother used to tell me to always tell my brothers the truth, whether they want to hear it or not.
You know?
And that is what brothers do.
Yes.
And when I listen to you, of course, sometimes I'm angry because I don't want to hear the truth. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm laughing. But I went back to your old videos and you've been saying the same thing since that time. And I appreciate your consistency. We love you to death. Keep up the great job, and we'll continue to support you, my brother. Thank you so much.
And then, my best and warmest regards to everyone in Edmonton this hour.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Baba.
Regards to your family too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I will deliver that. Thank you so much. Right now, that's a Chike, from Edmonton in Canada. And then on that note, we are going to wrap it up this afternoon. I want to try and make sure that I come on tonight. Here you get. And I will do my best to. Okay. But let me quickly sign out here now and go get ready for later tonight. It should be interesting, trust me. But before you leave, remember, you should try and like this broadcast, okay? That shows you are here. To everyone and all of you, the commenters, the callers, the sharers, the likers, and the gifters, the super chatters. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you. All of us played our role now. Let's meet again later. Good afternoon.
àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. MaiyegunDiary Diary Politico. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó. MaiyegunDiary Nayibi number one. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Allow the children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don in mind.
Maiyegun don come,
And in the touchlight every corner.
Maiyegun don come,
Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you ladder.
Maiyegun don come,
My people make we shout.
Maiyegun don come,
Maiyegun don come, man of the masses.
Maiyegun don come,
MaiyegunDiary Politico.
Maiyegun don come,
This one not they off in mind.
Maiyegun don come,
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say MaiyegunDiary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud.
Maiyegun don come,
My people make you shout.
Maiyegun don come,
Maiyegun don come, man of the masses.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is Sunday sermon on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, the Temple of Truth. Please hear the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me, and apologies that I didn't show up last night. So I was exhausted. So I needed that break. But somehow I am back and refreshed. So read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, hear it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today. Since the purported draft for a change of system in Nigeria from the current unitary pseudo-democracy to a regional system of government, it has sparked a never seen before reaction of rage from AREWA Nigeria. AREWA Nigeria are now claiming that others destroyed northern Nigeria so that they can now break up Nigeria. If Nigeria should go the regional system way, the northern Nigeria will suffer. Therefore, they will never let that happen. That has been the position always so. But this time around, more people are now interested. Why is northern Nigeria going to suffer if Nigeria should go to regional system or break up? Right now, they are now feeling cheated by Thiefnubu, deceived by Thiefnubu. Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you. Happy Sunday. Okay. It is Maiyegun live. And right now, for those who knows the rules of the Sunday sermon, we call it no holds bar session. It is so different from the usual and regular. And we usually advise everyone who is joining this type of broadcast for the first time, MaiyegunsDiary Politico on the Sunday sermon, to know the following. This is where we call it exactly what it is. And we do not see criminals differently. Whether they are old, young, educated, not educated, it doesn't really matter where they come from. Now, if you are the type who love your oppressors differently, don't worry, it's all right. We identify different group of people on this platform, and we deal with everyone according to what they believe, except for those who live in denial. There are those who have joined MaiyegunsDiary Politico because the topic of conversation was on the people they don't like. Oh, this guy is great. I never liked these people too. Oh, I'm glad that this guy doesn't like them too. But if you by any means think that is how it works here, no, it's not. It simply means that if the table turns, which it does almost every now and then, I am talking about those of you who love your oppressors differently. Some of you believe that your own oppressors, they are better than the other people's oppressors. Or your own oppressor, though they are corrupt and criminally minded, but they have fear of God. Others don't. And all of these kind of preferences you have. Oh, this criminal they are talking about is from my tribe. Oh, that's an insult on my tribe. I know you hate my tribe. That is why you are attacking us. Don't watch MaiyegunsDiary Politico on Sunday for your own mental health. You get that? And if you are the type that easily, there are people of easy handling, kind of. Those of you who have submitted to the religious manipulations, there is religion. There is religious manipulation. What you have in Nigeria is more than just religion, and even more than religious manipulation, indoctrination and all of that. So if you are the type who carry God and a defender of God, you are advised not to really watch MaiyegunsDiary Politico on Sunday, because it could be the turn of your pastor, your imam. Okay? So the point I am trying to make here is this. This is not a time or a place to be politically correct. You do not demand respect for criminals, whether they are old, young, or they come from your tribe or your religion. What we do here, because listen to this, everyone, I believe, knows the problem of Nigeria. You know it, I know it. Most of the time, these people always jump around and ask, hey, what is the solution? What is the way forward? But the problem here is this. Majority of those who claim to know the problems of Nigeria, they are partly involved in that problem because they want you to talk about the problems, but don't talk about those who are creating the problems. Because by talking about those who are creating the problem, who are creating the division, the insecurity, and all of this that are bedeviling Nigeria, you are likely going to be mentioning people they know, people they respect, people they prefer their own kind of criminality to others. The ones they will tell you, is he the only one? Leave him alone. Go and talk about that one. And that is where we get to separate boys from men. Those who are easily manipulated or have already been manipulated, that can no longer be saved. We know them. They watch this platform too. But to those of you who have managed to have mentally bypass all of these kind of manipulations, distractions, then you have no problem of watching Maiyegun on Sundays, do you? Having said that, here we are. Some want you to say Nigeria is going to be better. And they will go as far as asking you to provide solutions. But guess what? Every Nigerian has a solution to Nigeria problem in their own way. But the problem is this. Majority of them have never had the chance of actually being in position of implementing what they think is their own solution. Why? You do not give solutions to people who are deliberately and intentionally destroying a country. You get rid of them. Let us give them solution. At least it's not everything you'll be criticizing and criticizing. Let's give them solution. What kind of solution would you give to people who are intentionally looting the country, who are intentionally lawless, who are intentionally above the laws themselves? What kind of solution would you give to them? Advice? You don't. You come together and get rid of them. And that is a problem on its own. Getting rid of them means different thing. If a Yoruba man is in charge, are we going to now support other people to remove? If they remove a Yoruba man now, who is going to be there next? Coming together to actually get something that works for you is almost impossible because they have succeeded in indoctrinating us from birth, right? Never to see ourselves as one.